is Histories and Mysteries. I'm Ashley.
And I'm Jessica. And on this week's episode, Ashley is going to be talking about the murder of Linda Brown. And I'm going to be telling some icy ghost stories.
Ooh, icy.
Yeah, so they happen in like the Arctic and the Antarctic.
Ooh, I'm excited. We haven't had ghost
Mhm.
stories in a while on here.
I know. I promised I would do them this week. And
Yeah.
Kyle recommended I do like Arctic ghost stories. And I found more for the Antarctic. So, and some of
Interesting.
them just like happen above the Arctic, but it's okay.
Okay. Interesting. I wouldn't think that there'd be a
Yeah.
lot of ghost stories in the Antarctic because there's not a lot of people there.
Oh, it's really cool.
Ooh, I'm excited.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Well, I am doing another murder.
Surprise, surprise.
Surprise, surprise.
That's so funny.
I got my stuff from Deadly Women again,
Mm.
and the LA Times, and a podcast called Morbidology.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah. So this one's a sad one. Like nobody wins in the end. It's all awful. So
Wouldn't it be cool if like one day somebody used our podcast as a reference?
ooh, that would be cool.
That would be really cool.
Yeah, it was nice because
Anyways.
Morbidology had like the transcript of theirs.
Oh,
So I was
nice.
able to kind of read it, and they do true crime, mysteries, bizarre, and history as their like top like categories, I guess. So
So us.
yeah, very similar to us. Their website's really nice.
Nice.
Okay. So March 19th, 1982.
Is that a question?
Yes. I had it in here and I think I accidentally deleted it when I moved some stuff around. 1985. Okay. March 19th, 1985 in Garden Grove Gal. I'm not
Wow,
starting out strong.
you're me today. I guess we don't. For those of you watching, or I guess those of you listening too, we're recording in the daytime.
Which is unusual for us.
Very unusual for us. We're usually recording at like 8 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
And it is not even 12 o'clock in the afternoon. So I am drinking coffee.
Yeah, I was just drinking some coffee and it's been a morning. My kids have been a mess and my dogs have been a mess. It's been a mess.
Oh,
It's been a
no.
morning.
Oh, my child's great. She like is so good at independent play.
Yeah.
And I was playing Hogwarts Legacy.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, Oliver's pretty good at independent play too, but he today has just been in a mood where like everything is throwing him into a fit. So
Well, he's two. It
yeah.
happens.
Yeah, exactly. He's just having a day, you know?
Like
Just having a day.
Evie does stuff to herself and then she gets mad.
Yep.
Like she'll shut the bathroom door, closing her on the outside and me on the inside,
And then
she'll
mad.
scream at me.
Yeah, he was doing something with like this bottle he has. He loves bottles. So he was playing with a bottle and he was trying to get it to do something and everything. And then he brought it to me for help and I couldn't figure out what he wanted. And everything I tried to do made him more mad. Stop us. Anyway.
Really fun with them together.
Okay. March 19th, 1985 in Garden Grove, California. Okay.
Good job.
Thank you. Patty was awoken by sounds of gunshots. She got up, ran to her bedroom door, and saw Cinnamon Brown, that's her name, running through the house and out the back door. Cinnamon
Brown is such a cute name.
I know, isn't it? Cinnamon is Patty's brother-in-law's daughter. So Patty's sister's husband's daughter. And she is only 14 years old. When police arrived, they found 23-year-old Linda Brown dead in her bed. She was shot twice in the chest. Police searched all night. I know. Police search all night for Cinnamon, but don't find her until the next morning. When they do find her, she's laying on the ground, like kind of half in a doghouse. with vomit next to her, and the vomit is filled with painkillers. They also found a note that Cinnamon had written that said, "Dear God, please forgive me. I didn't mean to hurt her." But thankfully, she was still alive. So obviously, pretty cut and dry case. They arrest her. She pleads not guilty by reason of insanity, and the trial begins.
Oh my God. Okay.
Prosecution said she wasn't insane. She knew exactly what she was doing, and she was mad at Linda because Linda had threatened to kick her out. David, her dad, Linda's husband, testified against her and said that she had been really moody and talked about suicide for weeks leading up to the murder. He also said that the night before the murder, he had taught Cinnamon how to use a gun, which,
What?
why would you do that if your daughter's been talking about suicide?
Literally.
Yeah. But anyway, he did.
Wow.
And the insanity plea didn't work, and she was found guilty of first-degree murder. And apparently when the verdict was read, she was shocked and said, "I don't understand." So for sentencing, her team tried to argue that she was in fact legally insane at the time of the murder. And so they should take that into consideration when deciding her sentence. They called her grandmother, who said that Cinnamon had imaginary friends and had been really upset by her parents' divorce and David's marriage to Linda. Her mom said that a few weeks prior, she had called her up, and Cinnamon had said she felt like she was going crazy because everybody kept fighting in the house. So whether or not the judge believed that she was insane or not is, I don't know, but she was sentenced to 27 years in prison.
Holy.
And that's it. That's my story.
It's
I'm
always
just kidding.
sorry. No, but like it's always so weird to me how they determine the years because they're always so random.
Yeah.
Like, what the frick is 27 years?
Yeah, it is.
Round it to 26 or to 30. Like, what the hell is 27? Also, for people watching, I'm not a homeless person. Like, my shirt is cut up. But it's just because it used to be a crew neck and I wanted it to be a V-neck, and it's just like my sleep shirt. So it's my Tim Hortons shirt. Roll up the rim.
Ooh.
But yeah, no, I'm not homeless. I just don't like things around my neck.
Gotcha.
I just had to point that out because it was really bugging me. Anyways, continue.
Okay. So, Cinnamon had been in jail for about 3 years, and one of the detectives that had originally been on her case just felt something didn't add up. He just felt something wasn't right, and he kept looking into the case, and he kept trying to talk to Cinnamon. And again, like I said, 3 years after she had been put in prison, Cinnamon found out some information from the detective that really upset her.
Was it her dad?
Apparently, well, I don't know. We'll find out. Apparently, her dad had married Linda's sister, Patty, the one that had heard the gunshots at the beginning of the story. And I want to point out, when Linda died, Patty was 17.
Ew.
And Cinnamon was 14 at the time.
Oh, that's gross.
Yeah. Patty and David ended up having a baby. They moved into a beautiful home. And this really pissed off Cinnamon because she said, they're having this wonderful, beautiful life, and I'm stuck in jail. And let me tell you why this pissed her off so much. So 5 years ago, Linda's living a wonderful life. She has a new baby girl. Yes, that's right. Linda had a baby when she was murdered. Her sister Patty had moved in with them. And her husband, David, was a successful computer programmer. David's daughter, Cinnamon, also lived with them. She is David's daughter from a previous marriage. And just like any other teenager, she's moody. She's not super happy about her dad's new marriage. They didn't really cite any specific reasons, just she's a teenager, right?
Okay, so Cinnamon wasn't Linda's.
Right.
Okay.
Cinnamon was David's.
Okay.
But otherwise, it's a pretty happy life. Um, that is until 2 years into David's marriage with Linda. Mind you, again, they have a baby together, a baby girl. David starts to look at Linda's teenage sister, Patty,
Yeah.
in a gross way.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not cool, David.
Apparently, they started an affair. Again, Patty was 17 when Linda was murdered. So she's 16, 17 age-ish when they start this affair. And Cinnamon found out about the affair and she was not happy. David begged her not to tell Linda about it. And Cinnamon agreed. I mean, it's her dad. But David, not wanting Linda to find out, has this whole plan hatched. So he told Cinnamon and Patty that Linda was going to have him killed.
Why is it always the computer programmers?
Right?
Pretty sure there was another one that you did.
Probably.
Oh my gosh.
Now, again, remember these girls are 14 and 17. And here is this adult father figure, supposedly, slash boyfriend to one of them, that is telling them Linda is going to have me killed. If you love me, you will help me. Right? So they hatched this plan and they said that Patty was going to go into Linda's room while she was sleeping with a pillow to like silence her. David had taught her how to do all this and shoot her sister. But she ended up not being able to do it. She just couldn't pull the trigger. She tried and she couldn't. And apparently Cinnamon said, okay, well, Cinnamon, you have to do it. And if you loved me, you would do it. So a lot of manipulation there.
He wasn't even attractive. Like he was nasty looking.
No, yeah, he's not. Yeah.
Ew.
Yeah. So David has this whole plan. He's like, hey, after you shoot Linda, you're gonna shoot yourself and make it look like a suicide attempt. Don't kill yourself, but shoot yourself and make it look like a suicide attempt. And she's like, I'm not gonna shoot myself. Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah. He's like, I can't. She's like, I can't shoot myself. Like, I'm not. She's 14. So he's like, well, you know what? I've got a great idea. Instead of shooting yourself, you're going to take all these pills. They're pain pills. There's not enough in here to kill you. It'll just look like you tried to commit suicide. And suicide. Cinnamon was like, okay, works for me. So David gives Cinnamon a blanket and a gun, the blankets for the silencing, to go in and shoot Linda, and then take the pills after to look like she tried to die by suicide. So she went in. She shot Linda once. It didn't kill her. She tried to shoot her again, but the gun got jammed on the blanket. So she ran into Patty's room and was like, Patty, it's jammed. I need help. Patty struggled with it, accidentally shot the gun, which I don't know how detectives didn't find that in the first place, but shot the gun, but they got the blanket out. Cinnamon went back in the room and shot Linda again, killing her, and then ran out. She had taken the pills before that happened, so they were already in her system, and that's when she collapsed by the dog house. And while she's telling detectives all of this, detectives said, hey, you know what? I don't know if you know this, but the amount of pills that were in your system were enough to kill you. The only reason why you didn't die is because you threw them up.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like,
yeah.
Ugh.
So after further investigation with what Cinnamon said, Cinnamon agreed to wear a wire and talk to her dad. And, she kind of went back over it, like, why did we do this? And he spilled his guts to her and confessed everything on tape, on the wire.
Wow.
And as investigators looked further into the case, they found out that it was David's intent to kill Cinnamon. He was hoping those pills would kill her
Oh my God.
because he didn't want any witnesses. And with Patty being his girlfriend at the time and planning on marrying her, she would have had that spousal privilege. So she wouldn't have been able to like testify against him. So it wouldn't have mattered. So she could stay alive, but Cinnamon had to die because she was a witness to the crime.
Wow. Oh
Yeah.
God.
So poor Cinnamon is devastated. By this time, she's 17. She's been in jail for 3 years.
What? Oh, okay. Yes. Because she was 14, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So they went and arrested David and Patty. And Patty did confirm everything that Cinnamon said. She's like, yeah, that's exactly how it happened. Patty pled guilty to first-degree murder and was sentenced to a California youth authority until the age of 25. And then she was released in 1993. Which I'm torn on that. Because she was a teenager. She was 17. So she was definitely groomed by David.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I'm torn. I'm torn about it.
I mean, I think the fact that she still kept silent
Yeah.
and
And like
assisted
married
in the
him
murder.
and
Yeah. And
had a baby and
yeah.
yeah. Yeah. And that's why I'm torn because, she's kind of moving on with it. But at the same time, like if she was 14 and this happened and she got married and had a baby with him, and grooming is grooming. So I don't know.
Yeah, it is a difficult situation.
Yeah.
He's 100% in the wrong, and it's just unfortunate that the two girls were roped into it. Because it even sounds like Cinnamon was groomed.
Yes, for
and
sure.
not in like the same way, obviously.
Right.
No.
Right. Yeah. And this quote did kind of make me feel a little bit more like Patty, kind of. I mean, definitely groomed and everything, but she said, I wanted her dead during trial. I loved Linda, but I loved David more. But again, she was 17. She's not even legally an adult. She's still a kid. He probably groomed her to think, he was the love of her life. And she's a teenager with all those hormones.
Both of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
He manipulated both of them. And
For
that's
sure.
the problem, right? Because regardless if she's an adult or not, grooming is still grooming.
Exactly. Yeah.
So who knows?
Yeah. So David went to trial. He was convicted of first-degree murder and he was sentenced to life without parole. So he is still in jail. And in 1992, Cinnamon is paroled at the age of 21.
Wow.
So this one guy just blew up these two teenagers' lives for
literally no reason.
Yeah. He did get some money out of it. He got, I meant to look this up. I need an inflation calculator. Inflation calculator.
It always just like bothers me in those situations because it's like, what happened to the children?
Yeah, the babies.
Yeah. That's horrible.
Yeah. So he got $825,000 at the time of the murder, which adjusted for inflation is $1.7 million.
Holy crap.
So he did get that money out of her life insurance policy. And I think that was probably the main motivating factor behind why he did what he did. Because that's a good amount of money.
Ton of money.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
So that is the story of the murder of Linda Brown.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awful. Just like everybody that you thought you could trust.
Yeah.
Just turning their backs on you. It's awful.
Yep.
Okay. Are we ready?
I am ready to hear about these Arctic ghosts.
I'm so excited.
I am too. Especially the Antarctica ones.
Yeah, apparently Antarctica is like really haunted.
Which is crazy because there's like only scientific like community, like it's not like people live there other than like the scientific things.
You will hear. You will hear.
Okay. I'm excited.
So I used Ashley's favorite resource.
Wikipedia?
Yeah. I used the travel.com, polarlatitudes.com, National Post, and Listverse.
Oh.
Lots of resources this week. It's kind of like a mishmash, but we haven't heard ghosties in a while, so I didn't really want to focus on like one spot.
Yeah.
That was just kind of all over the place.
Okay.
Let's have it. Dance party. Anyways, sorry. Had too much coffee today.
I have not had enough.
I am currently drinking this giant mug that says, "Adventure, you say? I'll pack up my bags."
Oh, that's cute. It's got an alpaca on it, guys. It's very cute. I like it.
Most people wouldn't consider Antarctica to be one of the world's most eerie places.
As I have just said many times.
Yes, case in point. But it turns out that this snowy region has quite a reputation. According to paranormal interest communities, Antarctica is the setting for some of the strangest and most barren ghost stories, with some of them leaving behind abandoned buildings or settings that act as reminders of what transpired in those places.
Oh.
Ross Island was once a desirable vacation spot for visitors from New Zealand during the 1970s. Tragic events occurred on the island in 1979 when a plane carrying 257 people left the Pacific region on a sightseeing trip and sadly perished after colliding with a mountain there. Due to the remoteness of Ross Island in particular, and Antarctica in general, not a single passenger survived the crash, and the bodies that were discovered were held at the neighboring McMurdo station.
That's sad.
Yeah. That's the thing. Like, it's very barren, but shit flies over it.
Yeah, true.
Crap happens.
Yeah.
What was that? Oh, it was in the Andes. That's that soccer team, I think, that got stranded.
Oh, yeah. I remember hearing about that.
Ooh, I might do a story about that.
You should, yeah.
I had to watch that movie in high school, and it was awful.
What was the movie called? I don't remember it.
Alive, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I recommend it, but I also don't recommend it.
Gotcha.
Visitors at the base leave with a sense of anxiety and discomfort that has been compared to feeling as though they are trespassing in an area where they are not welcome. Some have mentioned hearing weird voices, having the impression that they're not alone, and even spotting what appear to be invisible footsteps in the snow.
Ew.
I know.
Love it.
Like, how awful would that feel that you're alone up there and then you just see these random ass footprints appear?
I would lose my shit.
Yeah. And it's like you already feel so alone out there because it's so isolated.
Yeah.
So. Speaking of unsettling vibes, it is reported that the Robert Scott Hut, which previously belonged to the explorer of the same name, has a similar feeling. The Ross Sea Party used the hut between the years of 1915 and 1917 after the ship they were traveling on ran aground in Antarctic waters. The hut was constructed on Cape Evans in 1911 and initially functioned as a temporary shelter for the Terra Nova expedition, which failed in its goal. On January 17th, 1912, Robert and 4 friends reached the pole. There, they discovered that a Norwegian expedition commanded by Roald Amundsen had reached the location 34 days earlier.
Oh.
So that sucks. 5 members of Scott's group perished on the trip back from the pole. Some of their bodies, journals, and photographs were discovered 8 months later by a search party. Visitors can see 3 crosses near the hut that were erected by the group in honor of the 3 men who perished there. But the Robert Scott Hut is rumored to be haunted by more than just that.
Oh.
This is the energy that is believed to be sensed in the abandoned building, and it has evolved into something of a morbid emblem for people who risked their lives to reach the southernmost point on Earth but failed to do so, which is really sad.
Yeah.
Visitors report hearing unusual voices and footsteps from unseen individuals, as well as experiencing general uneasiness after spending any amount of time there.
Ooh.
Due to its name and connection to Antarctica, Deception Island has drawn the attention of numerous tourists. Given the state of the waterways surrounding the island, only a ship with an experienced ship crew can access the island due to its remoteness.
Oh.
The scenery, which includes several unbroken animal bones along the island's shoreline, is proof that it was once a whaling station.
Oh.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Like, you really think that, like, this place is just
nothing other than like
nothing.
the scientific.
Yeah.
What is the word I'm trying to look for? Camps? Not camps, like
outposts?
Yeah, that works.
Yeah. Station?
Yes, stations. That's the word I wanted.
Wow. You're having a day. I think we need to record at nighttime more often.
It's rough. English is hard right now for me.
You're having a Jessica day. It's okay. This island's fame isn't just due to the haunting reminder of its past. It also gained notoriety for being a British World War II base after being abandoned during the Great Depression.
And why would they have a World War II base in Antarctica?
Yeah, I don't know.
All right.
Interesting. Yeah. I mean, it's isolated. You could do your shit there. Like,
true.
It's unclear what the supposedly haunted island is looking for or exactly what it is that visitors frequently sense, but it's certain that there is something to this isolated island. Numerous people who have visited Deception Island have reported feeling uneasy and not alone in more ways than one. Many visitors have also reported hearing weird voices again that seem to appear out of nowhere. Some claim to have seen shadowy beings. Perhaps these are the restless people who return to a location that was once so significant to them.
I mean, if I had to spend eternity somewhere, it's probably really pretty there.
Yeah. There are also frequently observed strange orbs of light, which only heightens the mystery and interest of such a location. Without an instant means of leaving the island, everything might just be in the visitor's head. Maybe it might be something that is genuinely both mysterious and real. Sorry, I had a brain lapse. Ross Island's Shackleton's Hut is rumored to be a hotbed of paranormal activity. Sir Edmund Hillary, a well-known explorer, claimed to have seen Shackleton's ghost there.
Oh.
He said, I remember when I first went to Shackleton's Hut, and I'm not a person who really sees things very much, but I went inside the door. When I opened the door, I distinctly saw Shackleton walking towards me and welcoming me, and then it all sort of flashed away and he was gone.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Wordie House has a reputation for giving off an eerie vibe to anyone that enters, with things flying off the shelves and doors closing by themselves. There is no explanation for the strange occurrences that have taken place within, and no one knows who haunts this place. All right. Jenny, who is a ship, not a person, was I was very confused when I read it at first. She was on an unfortunate journey after leaving port in 1823 because the ship became stuck in ice and became frozen solid. The crew was initially believed to be still alive when the ship was found, but it was soon revealed that they had all died of starvation and were now perfectly preserved in a frozen state.
Oh, wow.
I meant to say perfectly preserved.
I thought so, but I didn't call you out.
I'll call myself out. There is a waterfall in Antarctica that appears to be flowing with blood, but it isn't blood at all. And as unsettling as a blood waterfall may sound, it has a rational cause. Thank goodness. When exposed to oxygen, salt water's reaction with the iron in the glacier's bedrock gives it a color resembling that of blood.
Did you look
And
at a
there it
picture?
is. No.
It's crazy.
Share your screen.
For those of you that are watching the video, look at that.
Ew,
Oops, an ad. Isn't that crazy?
it is crazy.
Ooh.
Holy guacamole.
Look at all that. Ooh.
Ew, that literally does look like blood.
It does.
Like, it looks like there was just like a battle there.
Yeah.
Ew. Gross. Fun. So, now that we've tackled Antarctica, we move along to other places.
Ooh.
I think we start off in the Arctic and then we go like above the Arctic, but I don't really know. So,
Okay.
we're just going to go with it. One of the most remote populations on Earth, the small group of Inuit camped near the southern tip of King William Island in the year 1850 had barely encountered other Inuit and had never encountered white people or Dane. The sound of footsteps outside their igloo and the sight of a throng of lurching figures with empty eyes, blue skin, unable to speak, and barely alive was a horrifying event for them.
Oh my gosh, I bet.
These were the final remains of the tragic Franklin expedition, a British Arctic exploratory expedition that failed and all of its passengers perished in 1845. As ragged bands of expedition survivors split up and walked south in a desperate endeavor to exit the Arctic on foot, Inuit throughout the region faced a real-life invasion of the walking dead.
Ew.
They observed men acting erratically, camps filled with malnourished bodies, and the Europeans started to devour their dead.
Oh no.
According to Inuit oral history, one witness described their appearance as they're not Inuit and they're not human. Another tale tells us of something super creepy above the Arctic Circle. It was well known that the Soviet Union had succeeded in creating the world's deepest man-made hole on the Kola Peninsula, and which was a project that lasted from 1970 to 1994, despite the fact that many of its achievements were formally shrouded in Cold War secrecy. The hole itself was able to penetrate the Earth's crust 40,230 feet or 12,262 meters down, which is deeper than the Mariana Trench.
Oh, wow.
Yet, there were many reports of such a feat. Although it is generally recognized that the project was shelved due to a lack of money, some legends contend that the drill accidentally entered an extremely hot cavern.
Oh.
It gets so creepy.
Okay.
The scientists became insane after the microphone allegedly picked up screams of the damned. Due to this, it was the belief that they actually dug all the way to hell.
Oh.
Yeah. Is that creepy?
That's so creepy. That makes me think of, have you ever seen As Above, So Below?
No.
It's probably one of my favorite scary movies. It's so good.
Really?
You
Can
should
we
watch it
when I'm there?
Oh yeah, we should.
Yeah.
As Above, So Below. I really liked it. I tried to get my mom to watch it because she really likes scary movies, and she kept falling asleep. And then she was like, "Oh, I didn't like it." And I was like, "You didn't know half of what was going on. You kept falling asleep."
So funny.
Mama.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, so they find the gateway to hell and as above, so below.
Oh,
So,
I think you've told me about it before.
oh, okay. That's
Yeah,
what made me think about it.
Nice. Fun. I think this is the last story.
Oh, okay.
Gulag inmates of the Soviet Union were made to laboriously erect more than 800 miles of railway track in the very cold north of Siberia from 1947 to 1953. The Salakard-Igarka Railway project would end with over 300,000 deaths.
Wow.
And that was with only about half of the railway being completed.
Wow, that's crazy.
The project came to a halt in 1953 after Joseph Stalin's death. The unfinished railroad eventually gained the moniker Stalin's Railway of Death.
Oh, God.
And the fatalities weren't merely caused by overwork and exhaustion. According to legend, the intense mosquito swarms in the location caused numerous inmates to bleed to death.
From mosquitoes?
From mosquitoes.
Ugh, that just like, I just, ugh.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Can you imagine how many mosquitoes would have to be on you?
Yeah.
To bleed to death?
I don't want to think about that.
Oh, it's making me itch.
Several of the crumbling abandoned buildings are still standing today, and some urban explorers report hearing agonized screams, laboring sounds, and other paranormal activity among the ruins.
Oh.
And those are my spooky stories.
Oh, those are so good.
Thanks.
Yeah, I loved that.
Yeah. I hope I did our spooky some justice.
I loved it. It was great.
Okay, so I have some jokes.
Okay.
You gotta give me a second though.
Okay.
Because I gotta watch them. Okay. What kind of Batman skips church?
I don't know what.
Christian Bale.
That's so stupid.
My son's birth. Oh, for fuck's sakes. Okay. My son's birthday was today. It was his 4th birthday. But I didn't recognize him because I hadn't seen him before.
Oh, that took me a second. I had to replay it in my head. I was like, I hadn't seen him before.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't. Okay, I got
it. I'm reading. I don't know why my camera is like not having a happy time right now.
It looks like it's having some like hip, cool art show.
I'm reading a book where the main character sprained the muscles around his spine. And that's his backstory.
Oh, God. Do you remember the steak one you told a couple weeks ago that I loved?
I think so.
I don't remember it.
I don't remember it either.
Oh, okay.
Do you remember it?
No, I can't remember the exact joke. I just remember it had something to do with cows and being high, and I really liked it.
I don't remember.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
It was the one that we had to take the jokes out because my internet stopped recording.
Oh, maybe. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. It hurts me to say this, but my throat is sore.
That one was real bad.
I know. Anyways, that's it.
I loved it. Thank you. And if you want more of us lovely ladies, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube.
And if you'd like to rate and review us, you can do so on Apple Podcast and Spotify.
Yay! And thanks for tuning in. We look forward to bringing you 2 new stories next week. Bye.
Bye.